taxpayer dollars do not go to fund a government which has committed genocide. But it's not only the militarism of Trump that we've got to worry about. We've got to worry about another issue that I fear is not getting the attention that it deserves. Right now, our billionaire friends, Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, Mr. Zuckerberg, Mr. Ellison, and others are spending hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars developing artificial intelligence and robotics. We all know why we are here. And we are here this evening to make sure that Brian Poindexter wins the primary election on Tuesday. And becomes the next congressman from Ohio, 7th District. Before I get into my remarks, I want to pick up on a point that Brian made, talking about his own background. So let me say a word about my background and tell you why what Brian was saying is so very important. He knows where he is, he knows where he came from, and he knows where he wants to be. And I had a very similar experience. I grew up in a family where my dad came to this country at the age of 17 from Poland to flee poverty, anti-Semitism, never had a nickel in his pocket when he came here. He worked hard his whole life, never made any money. We lived in a 3.5-room, rent-controlled apartment in Brooklyn, New York. And what has always stayed with me is the struggles that my family had, my mom and my dad had. They were good parents, but always the economic struggle of not having enough money and the stress that that brought on our family. That's something that is in my gut. I couldn't forget it if I wanted to. And it's a reality that exists today all over this country. And the bottom line is that Brian understands that. And when he gets to Washington, he will remember where he came from, the people that he has worked with. And at a time when we face so many problems, he's going to be there fighting for the people of Ohio and America. So I very much hope that we can elect him. What I want to do this evening is do something very radical for a politician, and that is to tell you the truth. How's that? I know. Hard thing. And there are two truths that I want to go over tonight. One is, and I wish I could tell you otherwise, especially for the young people. I wish I could tell you otherwise. But we are living in an unprecedented and an extraordinarily dangerous moment in American history. That's the bad news. But the good news is, and I'm so proud of this, I have had the opportunity to be in every state in America, and I have spoken to God knows how many people, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people, met people in every state. We are a good people. We have good values. We are a compassionate people, all right? And if we do not allow Trump and his friends to divide us up by the color of our skin or where we were born or what our sexual orientation may be, if we come together as one people, as parents who want the best for their kids, who want the best for their aging parents, who want the best for the environment, if we come together, there is nothing that can stop us. No. It is not Bernie, it is you. I'll do my job. We all have to do our jobs. So let me start off by telling you a little bit about what you're not going to see on TV or hear very often in the halls of Congress. And that is that never before in American history have so few people had so much wealth and so much power. Today, in our country, we have more income and wealth inequality than we've ever had before. You remember the Gilded Age? Much worse today. Today, the top 1% now owns more wealth than the bottom 93%. Now, you want to hear something really crazy? You got one man, Elon Musk, who now owns, listen to this, more wealth than the bottom 53% of American households combined. CEOs of large profitable corporations now earn 350 times more than the average worker. People on top have never, ever had it so good. Last year alone, after receiving the largest tax break in history, fewer than 1,000 billionaires in America became $1.5 trillion richer. There aren't too many billionaires in this room, I gather. Over the past 6 years, billionaires in America have more than doubled their wealth. And listen to this. According to the Rand Corporation, not exactly a socialist operation, over the last 50 years, there has been a $79 trillion redistribution of wealth from the bottom 90% to the top 1%. So that is one economic reality today. Never before in history have the people on top had so much wealth and so much power. But there is another economic reality that unfortunately many of you are more than aware of. And that is that today 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Everybody know what living paycheck to paycheck is about. I grew up in a family living paycheck to paycheck. Many of you are experiencing that right now. What does that mean? It means that families are living under enormous stress. Mom or dad have to figure out how they're going to pay the rent, how they're going to pay the mortgage, how they're going to buy groceries, and what happens if somebody gets sick. How are you going to afford to go to the doctor when people have, in some cases, no health insurance or have very large deductibles? And what happens if your car breaks down and you can't get to work and you can't afford $1,000 that the mechanic is going to charge you? And what happens if your landlord raises your rent by 20%? You got to take your kid out of school. Where do you go? And all over America, that is what people are dealing with every single day in the richest country on earth. Millions of our people are desperately struggling just to pay for the basic necessities of life, while the people on top literally do not know what to do with their money. How many bloody yachts do you need? But it's not just the outrage of massive income and wealth inequality. When you look at our economy today, you see more concentration of ownership. Well, profits on Wall Street and corporate America saw a handful of giant corporations dominate sector after sector: agriculture, transportation, energy, financial services, you name it. And when you have that kind of concentration of ownership, you got monopolies, you got price fixing, and we end up paying much higher prices than we should. And when